Hi dear students, now we had put up a video regarding how to plan yourself for your next target or for your NEET PG or for next exam, how to plan. Now after that video I got a lot of messages from students who asked me about that, no sir, we are able to plan but we are not able to manage our time. Now I thought in this video today I'll talk about time management and how do I manage my time. And I think it's a very important question today, and I see a lot of youngsters struggling with the time part. So I thought I'll make a video on this. Let's talk about it now. Now, first and foremost, according to me, whenever we talk about time management is prioritization. Now, what is your priority number one in life? Now, this is very important to understand. Now, if I don't know what is my main thing in life, what is it that I really want to do? You'll never be able to find time and manage time. And you might have heard of this before. I'm just, kind of repeating it for you that, sometimes, you will meet people and somebody would tell you that they don't have time today. And it's actually, you're not in the priority list. Okay. So it's about like, do you remember that time that you were always complaining about that I don't have time to study, and suddenly a friend calls up, let's go for a movie. You find 3 hours. You understand? So the key here is prioritization. What is your topmost priority in life? And if you are able to put your dreams, the things that you want to achieve in life, your ambition at a higher level of your priority, time management will become more easier. Let me give you an example. Now let's imagine top 3 priorities that, if somebody would ask me to keep my top 3 priorities, my top 3 priorities would be it would be my dreams, my ambition, my career, that definitely it will be there. My family, that would include my family, relationships and health. So, and I've talked to a lot of people in the high achievement zone, and they would always keep these 3 at the top of their list. Family means family and relationships, and health and dreams. And you have to kind of balance your time between them. Now, let's imagine again, in between all this, in addition to this, your life is actually full of thousands of random activities. Some of them would be pleasurables and some of them would actually be shit. Let me give you an idea. Now, I've seen a lot of youngsters would come to me and say, I don't have time to study and I am unable to manage my time with my internship. And then I will say, what about the latest web series? Did you watch the Money Heist? And did you watch the, what about the Big Boss? And, and that, the students become so happy that sir is talking about our web series and Netflix, and they become so happy. And then I tell them that when you have time for all this, something is getting compromised. Now, to be honest, I do not watch any web series. I don't watch Game of Thrones. I don't watch Big Boss. I don't watch any of that crap. Now, my entire idea in life is that if I give all my time to all this, what would happen to dreams? I understand this or not? So it's about, putting things into perspective. Sometimes it would look a little, it would sound a little rough, but when you, look back, you will be able to audit your day. How many times, a youngster would come to me and say, sir, I'm a third-year student, I don't have time to study. And then I ask him that, have you ever thought of the time it takes for you to come out of your lecture hall in the college and to reach till your hostel, and that is like, a 200 feet or 100 feet distance, and sometimes it takes you 2.5 hours. And on those 2.5 hours, all we are doing is, we are only talking, he talked about me and she talked about me and how dare and all that kind of stuff. We are not actually doing anything worthwhile. Now, my rule in life is that whenever, I seek time for things that matter to me, and to seek time, I reduce all these random activities. You will hardly ever find me, doing these things, but that doesn't mean that I don't give time to hobbies, don't get me wrong. There would be things that genuinely give me pleasure. I would definitely put my time on those, but I would not put my time onto, a 1 hour gossiping on the phone about third persons. I would not do that. I just, whenever I find, myself doing it, I check myself and I don't repeat it, So, we have to find out, those random activities, for example, I've seen a lot of times people would be sitting and watching Netflix, but they're not watching Netflix, they're just scrolling. And all that scrolling takes 2 hours of their time. So let's have that perspective. What really matters to you? That is rule number 1 of time management. Rule number 2 of time management, and that is something that really works for me, is not every day will be a great day for you. I'll explain. Now, there will be, whenever I'm working, I want to believe, even, as an entrepreneur or as a student, as a teacher, I always want to believe that my days would be like this. My graph should be like this. I should be able to work in a constant manner every day. But actually, it doesn't happen like this. My days actually go up and down, up and down. There are days where I'm able to take out a lot of output. There are days where I'm unable to do anything. Okay. Now, what I do is, on the days where I am on a up zone, or I'm on a zone where the output is coming, I'm able to think about ideas, I'm able to finish work, I push myself. I push myself to do more. And this is something that I find happening with me all the time, and I think it is a good idea. On the day when things are going your way, put in a lot more effort. Now, this is something which is my study technique as well. Whenever as a student I'm studying, there were days where I was able to take out more and more output. There are days when you read a chapter and you understand everything that is written there. I tend to read more on those days. I would, push myself, my limits. And if my routine is a 4 hours or a 6 hour study, that day it will be 10 hours. Now, what happens is, people don't understand, but when you look back on an average, the net curve will become forward. But it doesn't move at the same pace every day. There are days where I'm able to take out much more work. There are days when I'm not able to do too much output. But I try to do the net forward movement kind of a philosophy by pushing myself harder on the days when I'm able to do work. I feel that works a lot for me when I talk about time management. So it was about prioritizing. It was about understanding yourself. There will be days where you will not be able to study. There will be days where you will not be able to work. That is possible. And I believe, that is normal. That is normal. But in the end, when we are in chasing something in the high achievement zone, when we have an ambition level higher than others, we need that forward thrust. We need that forward thrust. And, in the end, in the third part of time management, what I want you to take home is a message from me that, you need to value your time. Your time on this planet, you need to value that. Let's look at it in a different perspective today. That we all have, the most important resource that we have is time. Some of the people would mistake it to be money, or they will confuse it with some other assets. But the most important asset that you have in the world is time. We all come with a shelf life. In this shelf life, you want to, give time to the basics, to family relationship, but you also want to give time to dreams. And those dreams are things where, each one of us seeks immortality or legacy. You want to do something which will leave your mark in the world, leave your mark in the universe. And this is what the high achievement zone people seek. If you are one of those, you understand this. It is not for everybody to seek high achievement, but if you are one of those, if you are one of the ambitious people who want to, make a dent in the universe, if you seek more, you need to, balance it out. You need to find it. Once you understand that this is what I want, this is my desire, that I want to leave a legacy, you will be able to manage time. You will be able to find time. You will be able to, cut out the things that you really don't want to do. You will be able to manage time, I'm telling you. But to do that, you need to get that honesty back to yourself. That honesty is about what you really want from life. Do you value your own time? Do you feel that this time that you have is valuable? Do you want to leave? What is the most important driving force for you? For example, for me, my driving force would be my legacy. That, I would always want that, I'll tell you what means the most to me. Now, I was recently just before the lockdown period, I was in a party with some doctors and some army man and a old colonel came and he said, doctor, once upon a time you reported my MRI. I was surprised that he remembered. And then he told me that, after the MRI, he actually came to my chamber to talk about it. And, he remembered that we talked about his degenerative disease and everything on the MRI, and he remembered. And that is what matters to me. And, many times when I'm on an airport or on a railway station or a hospital, I meet a lot of students who have studied with us in the past who say that, sir, once upon a time you taught me. That is legacy. So when you seek that kind of legacy, you need to work. You need to work. And when you know this, you will align everything and the time management would happen. And I hope this video helps you to formulate your own plan, your own priorities, and manage your own time better. I wish you all the best. If you feel that you want me to talk about anything else or you want me to answer any questions personally, do drop in a message to me on Telegram or Facebook. I'll be happy to help. I wish you all the best.